By the end of this video, you'll learn how you can use AI-powered personas to save you at least 10 hours a week as a product manager, by turning those old static persona decks into something you can actually talk to. I'll show you where personas came from, why most of them fail, and how new tools like Delve AI can completely change things. Because, let's be honest, most personas are beautiful and completely useless. If, like me, you work as a product manager in a large company, you will have seen it, that shiny PDF from marketing. Meet Alex, the 34-year-old product manager who loves lattes and efficiency. Everyone nods. Yeah, that sounds like a great example of one of our target users. So someone else adds it to the shared drive, and then it gathers dust. Okay, I'm being a little bit unfair there. When we are designing a brand new product, or maybe we're looking at a full iteration, we might bring them out and bring them into a workshop. But day to day, are we really using those as product teams? Probably not. And the reason is simple. They're static. They don't evolve. They can't answer questions, and they don't reflect the messiness of our customers' lives and how they actually change week to week. But personas didn't start this way. In fact, let's go back to the 1980s. At the time, there was a software designer called Alan Cooper. He was an early UX pioneer, and he's working on a piece of software for accountants. And he noticed something. All of the people around him kept saying, well, the user wouldn't want that, or this, or that. But actually, no one could quite agree who the user was. So he did something quite radical. He invented a fictional character named Kathy, an accountant he imagined using their software. From that point, every design decision went through one filter. What would Kathy do? Would she care about this? Now, that might not sound like a radical thing to do, but it completely transformed the project, because now everyone's choices were put in the perspective of a particular user, and it gave birth to the persona. The concept of personas has spread into lots of customer-facing industries, probably none less than marketing. I mean, if you look back into the 90s, you can see companies like Ogilvy talking about the day in the life of particular archetypes as customer prints, for example. The idea of talking about the day in the life is they moved away from just demographics. They were stories, they were real people, or they felt like real people that you could connect to. That's the magic of personas. Empathy. They help teams design products for real humans, not just averages. But somewhere along the way, we've lost that magic. Today, we have more data than ever before, but we still represent customers as static PowerPoints. They're a frozen snapshot of a moment that's already outdated, and that's a problem. They can't talk back. And in a world where change is just happening so quickly, that doesn't represent people and what they're really going through. As product managers, we spend hours trying to understand our users. That might come from surveys, interviews, looking at support tickets, feedback forms, loads of different places. Now imagine if you could bottle all of that up, live data, information, into something you could actually talk to. Here's the opportunity. What if personas weren't slide decks, but they were these live, living entities powered by AI? Imagine, for instance, if at any moment you could just ask some of your customers questions, representatives of those customers at least. You'd ask them, what do you think of this feature idea? Or what is this problem like for you? How do you think about this new piece of insight we're giving you? You could ask your AI persona questions like, what frustrates you about onboarding? Or which competitor would you pick if we didn't exist, and why? And it would answer with reasoning grounded in real data and behavioural patterns. That idea is not science fiction anymore. It's happening right now. Now look, one tool that I've seen and come across that seems to do this brilliantly, and I'm not sponsored by them in any way, is Delve AI. It builds dynamic personas by analysing real user data from Google Analytics, CRM systems and social sources. And then it creates personas that you can actually query. Here's a quick example using their demo mode. I can see a persona profile generated automatically, complete with interests, motivations, and digital behavior. But the best part, from what I can see, is I can literally ask questions. You can see a few example ones on here, and it responds like a customer who's lived that experience. That's potentially hours of analysis distilled into minutes. I can easily see how this could be used in my day-to-day world, whether I'm testing out a hypothesis or checking that I've got the right priorities, or most importantly, testing an idea that I've got on my roadmap to see whether it's even worth doing. So genuinely, practically speaking, this is where I think it would save you time. No more combing through survey spreadsheets, no more outdated decks, and no more guessing what customers might say. Instead, you've got these AI personas that become these on-hand user advocates. It feels to me, if I look back on it, that personas when they first came out were about trying to become more empathetic to what people needed, rather than just throwing any idea out there. And over time, we've got so much more data. It's in some ways clouded our judgment. It's made it hard to make certain choices. Some things are really obvious. You can make quick decisions. But with this kind of technology, it allows us to be more empathetic again, to really think about the experience of real users and do that in a way that's very dynamic. And with that, we can bridge what personas were actually meant to be. Not pretty posters, but representatives of users in the room when we're making decisions. And look, to be really transparent, I'm pretty new to these tools myself. It's not like I've used Delve AI loads in practice, but I think it could help us make better choices about building the right things faster for our customers. And isn't that our role as product managers at the end of the day? So why not try it? If you're a product manager like me and you're looking to get new technologies, new processes into your work and find ways to leverage AI, why not use AI personas in this way? And if you do try things like Delve AI or you find other tools like this, I'd love to know about them. So please, let's get the conversation going and leave a comment below. Tell me, what tools are you using? How are you finding better ways to bring AI and personas into your world? If you found this video useful, please give it a like and maybe think about subscribing to this channel. I'm Sam, I'm a product manager and I'm looking at how I can use AI more in my day-to-day work. I'm sharing what I find and what I'm trying on this channel. So if that might suit you, then why not subscribe and follow along for the journey? Thanks for watching today and I'll catch you on the next one. See ya.